Hello, guys, and welcome to Fitness Business Secrets. Today, you have a solo episode with Jimmy, and I'm going to be covering 5 ways or 5 strategies that I use each day to stay highly motivated. These strategies I've used over many, many years. They have helped me create 2 multi 7-figure companies. And I wanted to share them with you guys because I've used different types of motivation strategies each day. But I've kind of optimized these over the last couple of years of a few things that I've learned. Now, firstly, when we get into motivation, it's the daily habits that we implement that actually create a multi 7-figure business. If you want to absolutely dominate, it's the actual work that you do. But what I've personally find is that when I'm more highly motivated, when I'm driven, when I know the directions that I'm heading, I get more done. I work through those test days, those days where I'm not feeling 100%. Maybe I don't want to get certain tasks done. And it definitely helps me achieve more. I believe that motivation is like showering and it must be done daily. I actually stole that off a guy named Brian Tracy. So don't take that quote as my own. If you're struggling to be motivated every day, if you're struggling to complete the needed task, this episode is for you. But I want you to also know, guys, there's not every time in my life I am super motivated. For those that know, I have bipolar, which means my moods go up and they also go down. So there's been times where I'm really, really motivated. I've also had times many years ago where I fell into crippling depression, times where I didn't leave my house for 1, 2, 3 weeks at a time, where I used to like walk down the street when I first got diagnosed with bipolar. And I thought that everyone in the world was judging me, that everyone in the world knew that I was depressed, that everyone in the world knew that I had bipolar. So these tactics are actually real world tactics from someone who's fucking come from the bottom, right, of crippling depression and being able to stay relatively motivated each day to create multi 7-figure companies. Now, the first way that I like to stay motivated is just to watch motivational videos on YouTube whilst I'm training in the morning. I really love training in the AM. In the morning, I try to get up, do 10,000 steps, complete my strength training for the day. And when I am walking on the treadmill, what I will be listening to is motivational videos on YouTube. I don't actually watch them, but I'll just search like business motivation and then I'll just like tune into a video for the first 15 to 30 minutes of that walk. I really use that to get really highly motivated and super pumped up. I like motivation videos from like Tony Robbins, Andy Frisella, David Goggins are a couple of the big ones that I like to listen to. And then at the rest of my walk, whilst I'm trying to get my steps in, I like to listen to a book. That way I'm able to get super pumped up, and I'm also able to listen to 1 to 2 books a week, just depending how long the book is that I'm listening to. Okay, you're able to implement this in any way. There's times in my life where when I was like doing my morning routine, like brushing my teeth and showering, I'd listen to motivational videos. When you're driving in your car on the way to work, you're able to listen to a motivation video or motivational podcast, and you'll be able to implement this really, really quickly just by adding it into a normal habit that you do in the morning. Now, the next one I actually learned off Dylan Fowler. So he did a course with a guy named Brendan Burchard. I believe it's about being a high performance coach. And he talked about like setting alarms within your phone that remind you each day. So I've actually got 5 alarms that I set in my phone. I'll read them out to you. So at 6:45 a.m. each morning, there's a quote that says, "Everybody comes to a point in their life when they want to quit, but it's what you do at that time that determines who you are." And that repeats for me every single day at 6:45 a.m. Then I have another one at 8:11 a.m. just as I'm starting work. Usually I'm already doing a little bit of work by then that just says, "Be a fucking savage." Then at 11:58 a.m., there's another alarm that just pops up on my phone and it just says, become the ultimate version of yourself. Then at 1:59 p.m., it says, "Build the kind of life that said I told you so without having to say a fucking word." That is a really, really famous quote or really popular quote from a guy named Andy Frisella off a podcast called 100 to 0, my absolute favorite podcast. I often listen to that in the mornings, like when I'm walking. And then at 5:38 p.m., a quote from the very famous David Goggins, which says, haters can be your ultimate fuel source. Fuck that bullshit about killing them with kindness. Torture those motherfuckers with success. So during the days, like as I'm working, it's actually a silent alarm. So it doesn't actually like say, it doesn't actually like become like a noise on my phone. It just pops up on my screen. I'm able to quickly read the quote, turn off the alarm, and just continue on. And that just reminds me of a few really, really powerful quotes that have really, really resonated with me from certain individuals within the business and motivational space. Now, the next way is actually just writing what I'm going to achieve. So I have a series of goals that I want to hit. So each year I set 3 main goals that I want to hit, one in my business, one in my health, and one in my relationships. But then what I like to do each morning, and this only takes about 3 to 5 minutes, is just write down all the stuff that I want to achieve in life. So I have a little notebook. Okay. And within that notebook, I'll just write down health, wealth, relationships, and I'll just write down things that I want to achieve over the next 5 or 10 years. I find future pacing and knowing where I want to go and knowing all the cool stuff that I want to achieve in life does help me stay really motivated, because one of the things on motivation, discipline, taking massive action within your life is you've got to know where you're heading, guys. It's why a lot of people, when they come to me and they start coaching, they're not consistent, they're not disciplined, they're not motivated because they have no idea about where they're heading over the next 3 to 5 years. So that's like before you can be really motivated, before you can be super disciplined, you've got to make sure that you know what direction you actually want to row in. And I find just by writing down these goals or what I want to achieve really, really helps me stay motivated. It helps me stay inspired, and it helps me know the exact direction that I am heading in my life. Point 4 is actually just reading our client results. We've got a page, jimmypomponio.com/results, that has over 250 testimonials on that webpage. Now, that page actually is for no one but me. I'm sure like maybe a couple of people have seen it. It's on our website. I think we use it within our sales funnels a little bit. I do not care if anyone in the world does not see that page apart from me. I use that page to review so that I know how powerful I am, so that I know how great my program is, so that I know how many people I have helped and how many people I'm going to help in the future. Being able to review those results. Some weeks I'm like not super pumped up. Maybe I don't want to make like some certain trainings, or I'm just not feeling the vibes. By being able to go onto that page and see how many lives that I have fucking changed with my program makes me feel absolutely unstoppable. And I highly recommend that all of you guys have a page for your business of all the amazing results that you have. And you want to have the page. I'm really, really proud of my results page because I've got to scroll so far down now to get to the bottom of it. In reality, guys, if you've been in business 3, 5, 10, 15 years, you should have to scroll down for like 3 to 5 minutes to get to the bottom of that page. Your goal is to make it as long as you fucking can, right? So that you realize how amazing you are and you have really good tracking data of all the people who you have helped within your business. And then the final one, okay, which I get reminded of every team meeting we have, every one-on-one meeting, every time I make a presentation for our inner circle members, which is actually our company vision, which is to collectively coach 1 million people per day to reach their health and fitness goals. That's why I create the inner circle. That's why we educate so many people within the inner circle. And that is why we have to turn up every single day to improve our program and to be able to change as many lives as we can. I know that by doing so over the next 10 years, there will be a time that as an inner circle, our collective community will be coaching 1 million people every single day to get fitter, to get leaner, to get stronger, to eat better, to love the bodies that they live in. And having that vision really, really inspires me. It's a vision that I have no fucking idea how I'm going to get there. I don't know when I'm going to get there, but I do know that I'm not going to quit until I get there. So being able to future pace forward on that vision that we do have for our company, which I get reminded of. As I said, every team meeting we talk about it, every one-on-one meeting we talk about it, every time I present to the inner circle members I talk about it. I often get to talk to you guys about it within the podcast as well. It really, really inspires me. But as I said, I do not know how I'm going to get there. What I do know is that if I'm really motivated, if I can control what I need to fucking do today, and I can do those 5 tasks to drive my business forward, that there will be a time that I get there, because it will be so undeniable by the amount of work that we output to reach that goal. So guys, I hope you got a few different ideas on how you can stay a little bit more motivated within your business. I highly recommend just giving them a try. If you're anything like me, there'll be some things that you try that I've given you today that will work, and there might be some others that won't work. The main thing is that you test, that you have a little bit of fun with these strategies, that you actually take action, that you have a strategy to make yourself feel really highly motivated every single day. I hope this has added as much value to you guys as possible. If you do have any questions at all about anything related with fitness, business, motivation, all those kind of bits and pieces, make sure you reach out to me anytime on social media.